Asha had worked at Riverside Diner for 8 months, and every single day she carried herself with the calm, steady grace of someone who had learned to survive storms no one else could see. She moved quietly between tables, her dark hair tied back neatly, her soft smile offering comfort to tired truck drivers and lonely travelers. But beneath that gentle exterior lived a silence so heavy that the sharp-eyed could sense it. Asha was not like other waitresses, and if anyone had bothered to look deeply into her eyes, they might have noticed a strange confidence hiding under all that humility. But bullies never look that deep. They only see what they can torment. And today, 3 local rich boys, Zane, Brett, and Milo, slouched into the diner like they owned the entire town, dropping themselves into a booth with the arrogance of people who had never seen consequences. They were known for harassing new staff, known for recording humiliations and posting them online, known for terrorizing quiet girls because quiet girls rarely fought back. But today, they picked the wrong quiet girl. Asha approached their table politely, holding her notepad, giving them a warm smile and a gentle good afternoon. "What can I get you?" But Zane leaned back with a smirk, eyes sliding up and down her like she was an object, not a human being, while Brett tapped the table loudly, mocking her accent, and Milo snickered like a hyena, and the entire diner fell into an uncomfortable hush because everyone recognized that tone. Trouble. Asha kept her head down, not out of fear, but because she knew her restraint was the thin wall protecting them from something none of them were ready to see. She calmly wrote their order, ignoring the mocking tone when Zane asked if she even understood English, ignoring Milo's fake cough imitating her voice, ignoring Brett's attempt to film her reaction, but restraint was something bullies interpreted as weakness. When she returned with water, Brett deliberately bumped her tray, sending the glasses crashing to the floor, water splashing across her shoes, and the entire diner gasped. Asha simply bent down to pick up the pieces, her expression unchanged, her hands steady, almost too steady. Zane, irritated by her lack of reaction, leaned forward and said, "Hey, waitress, when someone spills something because of you, at least apologize properly." Asha simply whispered, "I'm sorry for the inconvenience," voice soft but firm, and that only angered him further. He wanted fear, he wanted drama, he wanted a reaction. And when he didn't get one, he stood abruptly, grabbed the front of her apron, and with one harsh yank that echoed through the diner, he ripped it right down the middle. The sound tore through the room like a scream. Customers gasped, forks paused mid-air, the manager froze behind the counter, but Asha didn't move. She stood there, still, calm, breathing slowly, her torn apron hanging loosely from her waist. For the first time, though, her eyes changed. They sharpened, darkened, grew still as winter. A silence fell so deep that even the bullies could feel something shift, something cold and dangerous, like they had awakened a sleeping animal. Asha did not shout. She did not cry. She did not shake. She simply looked at Zane with an expression so unreadable that he stepped back without understanding why. The manager rushed toward her, panicked, but Asha gently raised her hand, signaling him not to interfere. Then slowly she untied the ripped apron and folded it with an eerie calmness, placing it on the counter. The diner was so silent that the hum of the refrigerator suddenly felt loud. And then the air changed. Not inside the diner, but outside. A deep, vibrating sound rolled through the ground like distant thunder. People at the windows turned, and the bullies, already unnerved, followed their gaze with confusion. The road outside had been empty seconds ago, peaceful, quiet, but now roaring down the street with the authority of moving shadows were 2 massive black SUVs, tinted windows gleaming under the sun, engines humming with power. They didn't slow down. They stopped instantly, sharply, perfectly aligned right in front of the diner, their sudden presence sending a shockwave through the atmosphere. The bullies exchanged confused glances. Customers held their breath. Even the manager stepped backward, whispering, "Oh no, is that them?" Before anyone could ask who them was, the doors of the first SUV opened with a synchronized precision that felt almost military. A tall man in a black suit stepped out, broad-shouldered, expression unreadable, wearing an earpiece that glinted in the sunlight. From the second SUV came another man, equally imposing, scanning the surroundings with sharp, trained eyes. And then, from the first SUV, the passenger door opened slowly, deliberately, like the world itself was pausing to watch. Out stepped a man in his early 30s, tall, with an aura so powerful that the bullies instinctively stood straighter. His presence wasn't loud, it was commanding. He looked around once, and then his eyes locked onto Asha through the diner window. The shift in his face, relief mixed with fury, was unmistakable. He didn't walk. He stormed toward the entrance. Before opening the door, he spoke without turning his head, "Secure the perimeter." The suited men immediately spread out, blocking the view, monitoring the area, their movements sharp and synchronized. Customers inside were frozen, eyes wide, breaths shallow. The door swung open. The man stepped inside. His eyes scanned Asha first, her torn apron, her still hands, her composed face, and then shifted toward the three bullies. His jaw clenched. The temperature of the room seemed to drop. Zane, Brett, and Milo, who had never feared anyone, suddenly couldn't breathe right. The man's voice cut through the silence like a blade. Who touched her? It wasn't a question.